I'm Denise, mother, wife, and serial entrepreneur with my hands in a bunch of different pots. If it's one thing I learned about business, it's that you don't win without war. There's always going to be struggle, and only the innovative survive. And two, you don't know what you don't know. So leveling up takes a wealth of knowledge. I'm going to show you how to manifest your dreams in multiple areas of your life by speaking to those who already have the blueprint and they're willing to drop those jewels. So join me as we go on this journey to manifesting our highest self and living the life we want. So tell me, Mark Anthony, about the Axis Furniture, how that started.
So my father started in 1965, 65.
So no
With a
riots.
partner, right after the riots.
Right after the riots.
They started on Canal Street.
Uh-huh.
They moved to New York after the riots.
Okay.
So my father used to work with a Jewish family in New York, and his partner was a nephew. And we had problems throughout the year, the uncle and the cousins. My father was the laborer. He did the refinishing. And he was assigned to delivery one day. He collected a CD, whatever it was, $150 that day. And my father was like, take it back. I paid $5 to work on these bags. For me to make $150, I had to do 30 desks. And that never sat right with him. And he approached Jack one day when he saw Jack was getting tired. He goes, well, we should want the business. And one day Jack at the end of his rope went to my dad and said, my father said, absolutely. He said, all right, let's do it. My father said, you sell it, I fix it, 50-50. A good run. We were brought into the business at a young age. And it's what I've been doing for a lifetime.
So this is all you know? Or you knew that your father...
I was in law enforcement for a while too.
Okay.
I've learned about construction, commercial, residential, designing space, running projects, from start to finish and coming up with a plan.
Right.
Some people get overwhelmed when it comes to projects and don't know where to begin.
Yeah.
That's our strength. I know how to come up with the plan based on whatever that criteria is for that client and say, this is how we're going to get it. And that's,
I would probably say that's your favorite part.
Yeah.
The controlled chaos. That's what it calls it.
it's exactly
Control
Good
chaos.
quote, controlled chaos. The
Okay.
client doesn't need to know what's going on in the kitchen as long as when the food comes out,
Yeah, it's done.
it's done and they're happy. That's what's most important.
And, listen, it's not easy. There are challenges being a family business.
Yeah, I
Right?
can imagine.
But we make it work. My sister and I, Nancy, who's really great on the operation, she just left. To her credit, she's helped me elevate this company because of the professionalism that she brings. She's brought in, started implementing change. I just was a worker.
Yeah.
And they got to a point where it was starting to grow beyond my capacity. So I learned as I went, right? And that's always the expensive way.
Right.
I wish I had a Mark Parra and Nancy Henderson, and I was Anthony. I learned on my own dime.
Right.
My father was out of the picture. He was retired.
Oh, he had retired.
He
by
had
the
retired.
time.
He retired in 1990.
So who was running the business after he retired?
I did. I started running the business. He started transitioning to Florida.
Okay.
A week, come back, go 2 weeks, a month, so on, so forth, until finally decided that we were going to let go of it.
Okay.
But by then, I had a couple of years under my belt. Nancy joined me a couple of years after. Right? Her strength was finance, and that was the Achilles heel of the company, which is less Achilles heels for
A lot of
a
companies.
lot of small. They get into a lot of trouble because they're not handling the books right. Thank God that's her strength.
Yeah.
And with that, I was very engaged in the industry and got very good at it. I started emulating what the bigger players were doing in the industry.
Who's your bigger players? Like who's your competitors?
It's different tiers, right? So you have your top tier furniture dealers that are selling to the Fortune 100 to Fortune 500 companies. Then you have those dealerships could be sales between $250 to $500 million a year.
Million, you said?
Millions.
500 million.
Yeah.
Office furniture is an industry. It's a sleeper industry. It's a small industry.
Yeah.
No one really thinks about going to school and being in the office
Or
furniture.
furniture design, right?
You're either born into it or you work in facilities, and it's like a natural transition into this field.
Okay.
It can be very lucrative. They'll spend, understand it's a list price.
Yeah.
They're not buying 10 shares.
Mhm.
They're buying 1,000 shares. So their discounts are based on volume. In most cases, those deals are directly with the manufacturer. So they have buying power. They can afford quality furniture. You don't see JP Morgan, Stanley, Merrill Lynch on IKEA and buy furniture.
Right.
Because they-
Wayfair.
Right.
Right. Today, small companies that want a corporate look, they will come here and we help them achieve that by blending pre-owned. We have the ability to reupholster, we have the ability to repair, we have the ability to refinish, we have the ability to alter and design, and that's how it evolved. Our business started evolved just from the refinish. You know, we were asked to do certain things, and we did it and was successful, and that led to another opportunity somewhere else. And when you have opportunity, you can't say no when you're starting, because the minute you say no, you just close that door and you're going somewhere else.
Right.
And that's what you say yes.
Yep.
But it comes also a point in time in your business when you have to say no.
Mhm.
But in the beginning, you can't say no. You got to make it work. Even if it means you make a little bit less,
Yeah.
but you have to find a way to help that client, whatever that solution may be.
Right.
You know? And the same holds true to furniture, right? Today, it's more about collaborative space. The days of the executive having the large office
Yeah.
in the corner in the big conference room, that's something that's kind of died.
Yeah.
You know, today, it's no longer about the big fancy leather traditional desk, right?
With all the wood inlay.
Yeah, it's about being with your people in the trenches, and you know, less square footage because space is expensive, right? At least pre-pandemic it was.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go through another change because now the challenges that you have, people are now noticing and realizing you can work from home.
Yeah.
Not everyone can,
Yeah.
but certain people can and still be productive. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in our
Does that hurt
industry.
you?
It just creates other opportunities.
I like that.
We've adjusted.
It's always just creating
Yeah,
other
we gotta-
opportunities.
You got to keep adjusting. I've always adjusted.
Yep.
You know, I learned.
Wait, what is it? You say you have to stay ahead of the curve?
You got to be ahead of. I say that you have to be ahead of the wave to ride the wave in. You can't be behind and try to catch up.
Right.
So I've always tried to read how the industry's changing and start to change prior to. So when the change comes, I'm there.
Yeah.
There was a time when we had close to 100,000 square feet of warehouse space, just with inventory, 300
File
chairs,
cabinets.
file cabinets, workstations. So the only one that likes that is the landlord. But when space was cheap, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
$2-3 a square foot. Now try to rent space.
Yeah.
Space, warehouse space is $10 a square foot.
Yeah.
And you're not even talking
Pricey.
about great space. In our business, when the client tells you you have to be there on Monday at 7:30, it doesn't mean, oh, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
It means you're going to be there Monday at 7:30.
Yeah. Or you don't have that client anymore.
And that's it. The corporate world, you have to be on point. Where most small businesses are not, here, the way my father ran things, you had no choice. Because you never said no. And what you said you did, and what you couldn't do, you didn't say. And if you couldn't do it and you said it, then you better admit that you said it, but you couldn't do it.
What's going on, fitness fam? It's 2021, and this is the year that you bring back your sexy. If you need to lose some unwanted weight, if you want to get in shape, build muscle, I'm the man for you, Sean Beta Trainer. Go to SeanBetaTrainer.com and hit me up. 973-851-2513 is the number. Don't delay. Go to the website, go to Instagram or Facebook at SeanBetaTrainer.com. You'll get some of that apparel. We have power greens for you for your wellness, as well as nutritional coaching and everything that you need. It's 2021. Let's make this year a great one. Sean Bader Training.
So how does like an order work? Does somebody call and say, I want a custom made white desk with this and that? Or like, how does that, like, where does it create? You guys build it from scratch or you design it from scratch?
First of all, we sit with the client. So what I try to figure out, number one, what is it that you're looking for?
Yeah.
Do you know what that cost is? Because most people don't know the cost of furniture.
Yeah.
And it was always that mindset that getting back to like if you can make it in New York,
Yeah.
you can make it in New York. But it's because we always have the right attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Are we perfect? We're far from perfect.
Mm-hmm.
We make mistakes. Sometimes we say things we shouldn't say. Sometimes we lose customers because of misunderstandings. Far and few in between.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And there's certain people that I don't want to do business with because I don't want to chase my money. That's what I told you.
Yes.
I learned how to say no.
Yes.
I've been on conference tables where I told people, you say, you know what, I'm not the right guy for this project. Thank you for the opportunity. They're not going to walk away respectfully. Because I refuse to, at the end of the day, fight
Yeah.
for what belongs to me. Because to me, it's simple. It's a two-part contract.
Yeah.
You're here for value to get your money's worth.
Mm-hmm.
My job is to fulfill my end of that obligation,
Mm-hmm.
and your job is to make it.
Right.
And that's what works. But most people are too concerned about getting paid without delivering,
Right.
right?
Right.
And some salespeople are very ambitious, very creative,
Mm-hmm.
and now they can't live up to that height. And then they don't want to own it, which is what I told you. One of my father's rules. If you say it, you
Yeah.
better do it.
Uh-huh.
And if you say you don't do it, you better say that you can't. So those, believe it or not, those little fundamentals, right? Was the base to our foundation to grow the company to be 20 times, 30 times bigger than what it was. To include now my sister, my children. And that's another thing, right? You know, I can see why people don't want to work with him. It's not always easy.
Yeah.
You know, when times get tough, how do you fire a son or a niece? Or,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's hard. I've had to fire my sister.
I fired plenty of family.
I had to fire.
I told one of my nieces, you better go back to school and become that doctor you always inspired to be, because this isn't for you.
Yeah.
You know, and, but I've always given people opportunity. I've never, and in fact, we just interviewed someone for the first time in a year.
Mm-hmm.
They gave us
10 months.
that opportunity. And I said, listen, you know, we're not going to talk about your salary right now because I don't know what your value is. So rather than shortchanging you, you feel like you're being cheated, you can say yes because you need a job,
Yeah.
or putting myself in a bad position where I'm not getting value, what you asked for, I'm going to give you.
Mm-hmm.
But that's going to be all predicated on what your performance is. Not the first month, but over the first 90 days. Because in 90 days, certain challenges will arise. You didn't have a good day, you're not feeling well, your wife pissed you off, you didn't have breakfast, you're in the truck with the guy you don't want to be in, you're stuck in traffic, you're late to a baseball game, and your true colors will come out.
Yeah.
You know if you're right for us or if you're not.
Mm-hmm. That's a good approach to take.
Those are the realities.
90 days. See what it says it. 90 days we'll be able to know what they're about.
So our team here, we have career employees. We've had employees here over 30 years,
Mm-hmm.
right? And like I tell my team, if we bring in a guy and he's here to make it harder,
Mm-hmm.
let us know.
Yeah.
We'll pop him right out like a thing. And it's happened where guys will come and say, this guy's not going to work.
Yeah.
And sure enough,
The guys can tell in a week he won't
We can
last.
work out.
Yeah. I think in our warehouse, our shortest tenured guy is 4 years.
yeah,
And then our longest is
30,
30. Our reupholster's 30.
20, I was 24, 25.
Yeah, Alvaro's 8, Miguel's 18. Alex is 9.
How do you get these people? Because like in business, it's so hard to find good employees. Like, how do you retain them? You have a great package or something? Like, what are you giving them that's making them stay for so long and work so hard and just be invested in the business?
I'll answer that if you like. Specifically involved in the
Please.
warehouse.
No.
I think specifically the warehouse guys, you know, the blue collar laborers that are out there on the field, trust me.
Mm-hmm.
They complain,
Mm-hmm.
as most people do.
Yeah.
But they know at the end of the day, when, you know, who hits the fan,
Yeah.
that's the person you want in your corner.
Yeah.
And I mean, I get that too.
Mm-hmm.
There's times that he drives me crazy, and, you know, he calls me every night, either just to discuss the events of the day or what's going on in the upcoming days.
Yeah.
And regardless of whatever happened that day, it's nothing.
Yeah.
And that just, I think, an ode to him. It is the culture that we built here, where it's a team effort. I mean, he was just outside plowing the snow, you know, and it's many caps that everybody's got to wear. And you know, when you see the main guy out there pushing snow, and you see his son out there under the desk, dusty.
Yeah.
When you're a part of that team, you're like, huh.
Yeah.
It makes it easier to go into battle with that.
It's getting back to why people have stood with us so long,
Mm-hmm.
giving them respect, allowing them to have quality of life. A lot of my guys, it's funny, my sister and I were talking, how many paid days they get a year? We're like the most festive company.
Yeah.
They get like 15 paid holidays.
Wow.
Then they
That's
the
more
guys
than
that are
state.
then
Hold on,
because
hold
they
on.
celebrate everything here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's National African Day. Oh, we're taking that day off. So we kind of. So what I've learned to do is this, and because this is one of these industries where, hey, guess what? I need you this week.
Yeah, we're not. Good Friday, you guys got to come in.
You
It
gotta
happens
come in.
all the time.
Yeah.
Or Saturday and Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. Well, not never Super Bowl Sunday, but even though we work, but footballs.
Yeah.
His little thing.
In
Oh,
fairness,
on
hold
Sunday.
on. Because it's on camera, in fairness, I have worked plenty of Sundays. So
Anyway,
if it makes that to Roku, I just want that.
so one of the things I've done is, for example, if I know there's a holiday coming up on Monday, a guy comes and say, hey, I want to go to Dominican Republic. Can I take off? Say, take off Thursday, take off Friday. Now you have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and come back Tuesday.
Give me an idea who your clientele is. Isn't you guys service? Is the Prudential Center one of your people? Or you and
No,
We've
no,
done
no,
work,
we've
we've
done-
done work with the Prudential Center, the New Jersey Devils years ago.
Yeah, I think we've worked with
We've done work with
everybody.
the City of Newark, hospitals,
Merrill Lynch,
banks,
Bank of America,
Merrill Lynch, Bank
Toy Story, Toys R Us.
Yeah. Different facets of our business provide different services for different areas, companies, right? You're never going to get a JP Morgan selling to come in and buy 1,000 remanufactured chairs from us, but they may call on us to come in and liquidate, participate in a liquidation. Now, which is something that we don't do anymore
Right.
because it's changed. Space is expensive. I no longer want to bring in 500 chairs.
Right.
Right? I'd rather, if you need 50 chairs and I don't have them, I'll find them. Right?
But what would you, if I wanted to do a furniture business, what can you tell me? Like, what's the first thing should I get started? You go to school for interior design, right?
Well,
And
that's
then you
always
work for a
that's always a
furniture
good base.
Mm-hmm.
But first and foremost, any industry you get into, learn on someone else's time. Make sure you like it.
Yeah.
A lot of people say they're entrepreneurs, I want to get into this business, and now they're into it, and they don't really like it.
Yeah.
There's no doors, you're not getting money back.
Right.
Right? So it's always easier to learn the industry that you want to get into by either coming in as an intern, right? Making sure you like that industry and, you know, finding your place within that company and you kind of figure out what you're good at, what you're not good at, right? I had a brother-in-law who decided to open up a cleaners. Just wash your clothes when you water. And I said, you know about that? They didn't know it's going to be a good business. I said, what happens the days where the guy that irons or the woman that irons doesn't come in?
Yeah.
Now what? Do you got to iron? Sure enough, that happened. He ended up selling the business. Because that happened more often than not.
Yeah.
So it was easier for him to sell it to a couple of people that worked there and continue with the headache of, oh my God, now how am I going to get this work done? So I always say learn on someone else's time. Make sure that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're not going to get your money back.
Right.
And that doesn't hold true for everything.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes business start accidentally. Opportunity.
Yeah.
But understanding the opportunity is what it comes down to. Understanding the opportunity, understanding what it is, understanding your strength and what your weakness is. Right? To me, I've always been concerned about where I'm weak.
Yeah.
I know what I'm good at. I want to know how I get better in those areas that I'm weak. And that's something that people don't want to always hear,
Yeah.
right? What you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing right. I want to make it better.
Mm-hmm.
And it requires thicker skin when you work with a family,
Yeah.
right? Because sometimes it's just getting sometimes more personal.
Right.
Oh, nobody's
Because I know
telling me.
you. Yeah.
But you know, here you kind of get alligator skin after a while.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like to say that I'm not always patient, but I have a high tolerance for things. I'll allow someone that makes me, I lose my patience with them, to keep trying until they get it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tolerate the mistake, you know, until it comes to a point where this isn't working out for
Yeah.
you, or
Right.
you finally die.
Right.
You know, I mean, like, Jesus Christ, how many times I gotta tell you that this goes like this, you know, it has to be installed, like, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's a balance. It's, I wish I had all the answers. If I did, I'd be a lot bigger. Maybe a lot
Wait, why
bigger.
not a second location? Why not another Atlas somewhere else?
I've thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're a company our size, it takes more people to manage.
Yeah.
Like, people have always been, it's always been a challenge to find the right people.
Right.
One of the things we've experienced being a small company,
Mm-hmm.
we'll groom folks,
Get poached.
and then they get pushed by bigger companies. They're always homegrown, they still come and they visit us,
Yeah.
and it's funny, right, because they still create opportunity for us.
Yeah.
But we found a lot of that in those places.
Yeah.
And I tried to stay within my control, if you will, my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Listen, I was at one point, we had 35 employees.
Mm-hmm.
I was a lot busier, making less.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else was making money. And I was like, you know what, that doesn't work. So I downsized.
Mm-hmm.
I downsized my warehouse.
Let's
less
change our
employees.
operations.
I changed our things, how we were marketing ourselves internally, and we became more profitable with less people and less inventory. I was surviving the pandemic.
So no need for a second location.
I don't think that we need a second location. We do work in Texas, we've done work in California, we've done work in
You
Puerto
could
Rico.
work anywhere.
Better.
So.
Puerto Rico.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, done several projects. Yeah, we've been doing it over time. This is behind the facade. So we'll put it on there, like this space in here.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all remanufactured. So everything you see here is pre-owned.
Okay.
But we show companies, right, big and small, you can have a professional looking space.
Yeah.
That's functional,
Mm-hmm.
that's not cumbersome,
Mm-hmm.
at an economical price by pre-owned.
Right.
You know? And you help them
And it
select
works.
colors of the wall. It
Makes
works.
sense.
It's all about, you know, making that impression.
Yeah.
So it's all about, you know, creating a space that is fun.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know, a space has to be inviting. So many companies sometimes get too gray colors
Yeah.
and too bland. Make space inviting.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of color.
Got
Don't be
some pieces that catch people's eye. I like that. And that's what is this again? What's this called?
It's cash register.
That's a cash register?
Sure, it's an old cash
Oh
register.
my gosh. That's,
These are actually cases that we brought in from a liquidation a year ago. I had this cash register laying out on the table, and it just happened to fit.
yeah.
So,
This is our multimedia conference room.
Mhm.
Again, everything in here is just showroom. It's gives us the ability to show clients what we're able to do and different things. You know, so we have a multimedia TV, fastened to the wall with a work surface. conference room.
Yeah.
most people, for example, think of a conference table in a room like this and have the table in the middle,
Yeah.
which means it's a smaller table.
Mhm.
But here, because we're creative, put it against the wall to fit the extra two people.
Mhm.
Get the table a little wider so you can fit an extra two people.
At
Yeah.
the end. Mhm.
And now you got, 8 people as opposed to 6 in the room this size.
All about creative solutions.
Yeah, I like that.
And
can make it in Newark, you can make it anywhere, because Newark is never a destination city.
Right.
And there's been challenges.
Mm-hmm.
But here we are, 55 years later, through this pandemic and through everything else, still surviving.
Yeah. That's amazing.
We're the only game in town.
I love it.
Minority owned,
Yeah.
proud, and we're a company that's community based. You know, we help our community.
Mm-hmm.
We've always done, those are the fundamentals that I was taught, which I'm teaching my son.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
you put out there, you get back.
Yes.
It can't always be about you. And to be in a place like Newark,
Mm-hmm.
without that mentality, that's why a lot of people haven't survived.
Mm-hmm.
It's short term. So the property manager,
Okay, so that's what I was gonna ask you, 'cause I wasn't sure if you own the property or
Yes.
if you were just renting, so why didn't you just move your warehouse here? Like on another.
well, you know what? That was the original intention.
Uh-huh.
So when I bought this building, it was to move my business here,
Mm-hmm.
my warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
And then I decided it wasn't highest and best use,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I went back to the architects and got the plans changed
Mhm.
to have multi-use building where I
Mhm.
have retail
Yeah.
and
Your
commercial
stuff,
space
yeah.
and office space.
Oh, so you have retail here?
Yeah, this building was abandoned.
Oh, wow.
I did all the work here. This is what kind of launched me into the construction business.
Okay.
I did all the work. This was not like this at
Yeah,
all.
I remember the time we walked in here, he's like, what do you think? I was like, Mom's gonna kill you.
Right. How many units are in here, like office spaces?
We have 13 tenants.
13.
13 tenants, plus we have,
Including downstairs?
yeah, including downstairs. We've lost a few, some for COVID,
Yeah.
some without. You know, it's like an incubator space, right?
Uh-huh.
But then we have two companies here that are multi-million-dollar businesses.
Mm-hmm.
But it just happens to be the right space because it's affordable.
Mm-hmm.
You're sharing space. Most small companies, their biggest expense,
They're right.
rent, because now they need a conference room.
Mm-hmm.
They need a
Reception
cafeteria,
area.
they need a reception area. Here, you have your office. If you need a conference room, you send an email, you share it,
Yep.
and we include everything in the base rent.
Wow.
And we make it affordable. That's all. We do short-term leases. And it helps people out.
Short term is good.
Yeah, 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone's struggling, you're free to leave.
Yeah.
After 6 months, you're free to leave.
Okay.
Because there's an expense too, right? It costs to set up.
Right.
They use a deposit, but they're not on the hook.
Yeah.
And most of these landlords, when they leave,
Yeah, so you.
they're not on the hook.